My name is Bertha. 3 months have passed since the most unforgettable day of my life, a day that turned my world upside down and set me on a path of self-discovery. It all started at the rehearsal dinner. We had chosen a cozy French bistro, a place that held special memories for us. It was where my fiancé, Leo, and I had our second date. I remember that night vividly. He was so nervous, and I found it endearing. The soft candlelight, the fine wine, and the delicious French cuisine made it a night to remember. About 40 of our closest friends and family gathered around the long table that evening. My parents, who are simple and hard-working people, were excited for the upcoming wedding. My mother, a warm-hearted woman, was beaming with pride, while my father, a man of few words, was quietly content. Leo's family was there too. His mother, an elegant and somewhat overbearing woman, had been looking forward to this wedding for a long time. Leo sat beside me, looking dashing in the black suit I had helped him pick. His arm rested casually behind my chair, and I felt a sense of security. But then, one of Leo's college friends, Lily, started talking about how strange it was that everyone in their friend group had gotten engaged within the same year. It's like dominoes, she laughed. One goes down, and suddenly, everyone's doing it. Leo joined in the laughter. That carefree laugh of his, the one he always had after a couple of glasses of wine. Honestly, he said, waving his hand as if it were a trivial matter, I only said yes because everyone else was getting married. For a split second, the table fell silent. Then, laughter erupted. Everyone was laughing, except me. I felt a sharp pain in my chest, as if the ground had suddenly disappeared beneath me. Leo didn't even look at me. He was too busy enjoying the attention and the reaction of his friends. I sat there, frozen, my smile fixed on my face, my heart pounding so loudly that I was sure everyone could hear it. I kept telling myself that he didn't mean it, that it was just a joke. But deep down, I knew the truth. When dinner ended, Leo kissed my cheek and said, "See you at the altar tomorrow." "Don't be late." I replied mechanically, "Wouldn't miss it." After everyone left, I sat in my car in the parking lot for half an hour. I just sat there, breathing, trying to process what had just happened. By the time I drove home, my anger had turned into a cold, clear determination. I did something I had been avoiding for months. I opened Leo's messages. We had agreed on transparency after a fight about his ex constantly liking his social media posts. I had access to his messages, but I had never used it until that night. I found the group chat with his college friends and scrolled back to the week he proposed. Lily had written, "OMG. You said yes." Leo had replied, "What else was I supposed to do? Everyone's getting married." Lily had then asked, "But do you love her?" Leo's response made my blood boil. "She's great. Stable. She'll be a good wife." Lily had countered, "That's not love." And Leo had said, "Love's overrated." This just makes sense. There were also messages about wedding planning complaints, jokes about how happy his mother was because I had a good job, and plans to move back to his hometown, something he had never mentioned to me. I sat on the couch, my hands shaking. I realized that he was marrying me out of convenience, not love. I picked up my phone and called my best friend, Ava. "I need you tomorrow morning at the venue, 7 a.m. Just you," I said. There was a pause on the other end. "Bertha, what's going on?" she asked carefully. "I'll explain tomorrow." "Trust me," I replied. That night, I couldn't sleep. Leo's words kept playing in my head like a broken record. At 3:47 a.m. I gave up and sat at my kitchen table with my laptop open. The glow of the screen made my apartment feel like an interrogation room. I started canceling the honeymoon flights and the hotel reservation for the wedding night. I felt no sadness or regret, only relief, as if I was defusing a bomb. At 4:15 a.m. I called the venue's emergency line. A sleepy voice answered. Hi, this is Bertha. The wedding for today. I need to request a last-minute change to the ceremony setup, I said. The person on the other end was confused but polite. The ceremony is in less than 7 hours. What change? They asked. I stared at my screen and then at my reflection in the window. I need the arch removed and replaced with a large projection screen in the center front where the altar would be, I said. The venue manager's voice sharpened. Is everything okay? They asked. No, but I'm absolutely sure, I replied. By 5 a.m. I was building a presentation. It was just the truth, with screenshots, timestamps, and Leo's exact words. I arranged them chronologically, starting from the engagement week. I made the font big enough so that no one could miss it. At 6:30 a.m. I showered, dressed, and pulled my hair back neatly. I looked like I was going to a business meeting, not about to expose my fiancé's true feelings in front of everyone. At 7 a.m. Ava met me at the venue. She climbed out of her car in sweats and a hoodie, her hair messy, and her eyes full of worry. Okay, talk, she said. I didn't beat around the bush. I handed her my phone and let her scroll through the messages. Her face changed with every swipe, from confusion to disbelief to fury. Bertha, oh my God, she whispered, her voice cracking. I nodded. I found it last night, the group chat. This is why he said yes. Ava's jaw tightened. He said that in a group chat? And out loud at dinner? She asked. I nodded. Yes, in front of everyone. Ava looked up at me. And you're still doing the wedding today? I looked her in the eye. No, I'm doing something else. I walked her towards the ceremony space. The garden was beautiful, just as Leo's mother had wanted. There were white chairs, perfect rose arrangements, and soft ribbons. It was the picture-perfect wedding setting. But in the front, where the floral arch was supposed to be, there was a massive projection screen. Ava stopped so suddenly that she almost tripped. Oh, she gasped. Bertha. I didn't smile. It's going to play when he walks in. He'll see it, I said. Ava looked at me, a mix of horror and admiration on her face. This is brutal. I didn't flinch. He made it a joke. He made me a joke. Now we're just being honest, I said. By 10:45, guests started arriving. I stayed hidden in the venue's small office with Ava, watching through the narrow window as people laughed, took photos, and greeted each other. My parents arrived first. My mother was holding her purse tightly, and her smile was a bit forced. My father looked proud, completely unaware of what was about to happen. Then Leo's family arrived. His mother was elegant and excited, like this was the culmination of her life's dream. Leo's groomsmen and friends filed in, joking and straightening their ties. Finally, Leo arrived. He was confident, smiling, and relaxed, as if the previous night had never happened. It was the sight of his confidence that almost broke me. At exactly 11, the music began, and the doors opened. Leo walked in with his mother by his side, following tradition. The guests stood up, and phones came out as he walked down the aisle, smiling and waving. When he reached the front and looked up at the altar, he froze. The projection screen lit up, and the first slide showed a screenshot of his words, I only said yes because everyone else was getting married. His face turned pale as if all the blood had drained from it. His mother slowly turned her head and read the words, and her mouth fell open. The guests started murmuring, and a wave of shock spread through the crowd. Some gasped, some laughed nervously. Leo turned, looking around as if he could make the problem disappear. His eyes found me in the office window, and his expression changed to panic. I stepped out of the office door. The cold air hit my skin like a shock. Every head turned towards me. It was surreal how the crowd fell silent, as if they knew they were witnessing something that would be talked about for a long time. I walked down the aisle alone, with no bouquet or veil, just me and the truth. Leo's voice was small. "Bertha," he said. I stopped about 10 feet from him. "This," I said calmly, gesturing towards the screen, "is unforgettable." His eyes were filled with desperation. "What is this? Why would you show everyone what I said?" He whispered. I cut in. "Because you already did, Leo. You said it at dinner like it was a joke." His mother stepped forward. "This is inappropriate. Turn that off now," she snapped. I looked at her. "Did you know? Did you know he proposed because his friends were doing it? That he thinks love is overrated? That he calls me stable and practical like I'm a resume?" Leo's head snapped towards his mother. "Stop," he hissed. "Bertha, please." "Please what?" I asked. "Please let you keep performing? Please let me walk down this aisle later and pretend I didn't read your messages?" His face crumpled. I was venting. "It didn't mean anything," he said quickly. "It meant everything," I replied. "Because those messages are the only place you were honest." Leo took a step towards me, his hands out. "Let's talk privately, not like this," he pleaded. I stared at him. "You had 40 people listening when you joked about marrying me because everyone else was doing it. You didn't ask for privacy then." His voice cracked. "I didn't think about you, about what it would feel like. I thought about the wedding," I said softly. The screen advanced, showing another screenshot. "She's fine. She's stable. She'll be a good wife." A collective gasp ran through the crowd. Leo's mother looked like she might faint, and Leo's face twisted with humiliation and anger. "You're humiliating me," he rasped. I tilted my head slightly. "No, I'm showing who you are when you think no one's watching." Ava appeared at the edge of the aisle, just standing there as a silent witness. The venue manager hurried over, looking pale. "Ms. Bertha, we have another event scheduled after this." "We can't," she murmured urgently. I nodded. "I'm done," I said. I looked at Leo one last time. "I hope you find someone you actually love. Someone you don't choose because it's convenient. Someone you don't describe like a safe investment," I said. Leo's eyes filled with tears. "Bertha," he said. I turned away and walked back down the aisle. Behind me, the garden erupted into chaos. Phones were recording, guests were shouting questions, and Leo's mother was demanding that someone fix this. Leo stood there, frozen, as if the world had shifted beneath him. Ava followed me out to my car. When we reached it, my hands finally started shaking. Ava opened the passenger door and slid in, out of breath. "Where are we going?" she asked. I gripped the steering wheel and stared straight ahead. "Anywhere but here," I said, and then I drove away. The fallout hit me like a wave. By the time Ava and I got back to my apartment, my phone was vibrating non-stop. I knew it was family, friends, and people I hadn't spoken to in years, all suddenly interested in my wedding day. Leo was also calling, first from his number, then from unknown numbers. Ava hovered behind me as I set my purse on the counter. "You should answer your mom," she said quietly. "I can't," I whispered. "If I hear her voice, the part of me that's still soft might break, and I don't trust myself to stay standing." So, I turned my phone off for 3 days. Those 3 days were like being in a snow globe, silent and isolated. Ava checked in on me constantly, bringing me food that I couldn't eat. She sat on my couch while I stared at the wall, my mind in a daze. On the second night, Ava finally said what she had been holding back. "People are going to say you went too far." I didn't look at her. "I know." She hesitated. "Did you?" That question hit me hard. I thought about Leo's face when the screen turned on, and my own face at the rehearsal dinner. I don't know, but I know I didn't start it, I admitted. Ava exhaled slowly. No, you didn't. On the fourth day, I turned my phone back on. There were 317 messages. I couldn't read them all, but I read the ones that mattered. My mom wrote, I wish you'd come to us before doing it publicly, but I understand why you did. I'm sorry, honey. You deserve better. My dad said, that took guts. Not how I would have handled it, but I get it. Call me when you're ready. My younger brother texted, Holy Bertha, are you okay? Everyone's talking about it. Then there were Leo's voicemails. They were like a pendulum, starting with shaky apologies, then turning angry, and then becoming desperate again. I listened to the first one and deleted the rest. There was nothing left to talk about. He had told the truth when he thought I'd never see it, and everything after that was just damage control. A week later, I received a legal threat in the form of a long email from Leo's mother, filled with words like defamation and emotional distress. I forwarded it to a lawyer recommended by Ava's cousin. The lawyer called me the next day and said, Bertha, those are screenshots of his actual messages. They have nothing. Truth is a complete defense to defamation. I felt a sense of vindication. 2 weeks after the non-wedding, Leo showed up at my building. I had moved back into my apartment after staying with Ava for a while. The place felt different, peaceful, like a room that had finally been cleared of smoke. When I walked into the lobby after work, he was sitting on the bench near the mailboxes. He looked up, and for a second, I almost didn't recognize him. He used to be so polished, but now he looked worn out, with dark circles under his eyes and an uneven beard. Bertha, he said, standing up quickly. His voice was unsteady. I didn't move. How did you get in? I asked. He admitted, I waited for someone to come out the door. I'm sorry. Just give me 5 minutes. I should have walked past him, but curiosity got the better of me. I nodded. 5 minutes. We stepped outside. The cold evening air stung my face. We sat on a bench a few feet apart. Leo stared at his hands. I'm sorry for everything, the dinner, the messages, he started. I watched him carefully. Okay, I said. He was taken aback. That's it? Okay? He asked. What do you want me to say? That I forgive you? That we can redo it? That we can pretend you didn't tell your friends you proposed because everyone else was getting married? I asked quietly. His shoulders sagged. I didn't mean it like that, he whispered. You did, I said matter-of-factly. You meant it exactly like that when you wrote it and when you said it out loud. Leo swallowed hard. I've been in therapy. I'm trying to figure out why I said those things. I think I was scared. Scared of making the wrong choice, scared of commitment. I convinced myself it was practical instead of emotional, he said, his voice cracking. I looked at him. Were you ever in love with me, Leo? His eyes flickered, and he hesitated for a split second. It was all the answer I needed. My chest tightened, not because I was surprised, but because a small part of me had still hoped for a different answer. He licked his lips. I cared about you. You made my life better. You were safe, he said. Safe? Like I was a choice you made when you were tired of risk? You weren't in love, I said softly. Leo's eyes filled with tears. I don't know. I thought I was, or I thought it didn't matter. Love fades anyway, right? Compatibility is what matters. I cut in gently. We weren't compatible because you weren't honest. You wanted to move back to your hometown, and you never told me. You were marrying me like I was a plan, not a partner. He shook his head, tears streaming down his face. I know. I know that now, he whispered. I held his gaze. I believe you're sorry, and I believe you hate how it ended. But sorry doesn't change what you did, and it doesn't change what you felt, I said. He stared at me, his breath unsteady. So this is it. We're really done, he said, his voice breaking. I nodded. We've been done since the moment you laughed and told a room full of people that you only said yes because everyone else was getting married. Leo covered his face with his hands, his shoulders shaking. I didn't touch him because I knew that comfort would be a form of permission, and he didn't deserve it. After a minute, he lowered his hands and looked at me as if he was memorizing my face. For what it's worth, you deserve better than what I gave you, he whispered. I felt a lump in my throat. I hope you find someone you actually love. Someone you choose without hesitation, I said, my voice steady. He stood up slowly and walked away. That was the last time I ever saw him. It's been 3 months now, and I